He's like the voice of reason in the Bennett household, and I really love that for him. I love Rue and Ollie's connection. Coleman Domingo is a superstar. Hey guys, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing Euphoria Season 2, Episode 6. This is your disclaimer right now that I will be talking about some tough subject matter, so you have been warned. Now, heading into Episode 6, I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, everyone's coming back together in this one since it was a Rue-heavy episode in 5. We kind of saw the secondary characters just because she did like the tour of her city and tore through it a bit, dropping bombs everywhere. Again, as I said in my other review, I do understand why the focus was on like Maddy and Cassie, and then you kind of lost Rue. No one was paying attention to her in order for 5 to be like this impactful episode. I get that. But to go back and connect 4 to 6 now, I don't really care about Nate anymore. I don't care. I don't know why Levinson's trying to make any of us care about Nate. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So what annoyed me the most about going into episode 6 is that I knew that there was going to be a Maddy and Cassie kind of standoff, and we did not get that. We didn't get a Maddy and Cassie standoff. And that doesn't make any sense to me because you just threw away one of the most important head-to-head conversations that was in episode 5, and you built up this love triangle, you built up this interaction between Maddy and Cassie, and it was lackluster. Like I was just so confused as to why they replaced that in episode 5, and then we don't even get the scene after they run up the stairs. Like, what happened in that room? What did Cassie say to Maddy? That is the most interesting part of this entire thing between the three of them, and we didn't get it. So there was no continuation from that moment. There was no continuation from Rue either, and I just don't understand why you would place that there and not give us that massive confrontation. Instead of Maddy and Cassie having a discussion, like a healthy discussion between two women, which Sam Levinson clearly doesn't know how to write, or else he would have added that in. We get Cassie like going through it, crying, literally throwing tantrums, telling people why she did what she did, why she's feeling the way she did. But now like no one cares about Cassie because you broke the girl code. No one cares about Cassie now because she's a liar. Her mom's tired of her. Lexi's tired of her. The only person that isn't tired of her is Nate. To start off this review, I just wanted to say that the reason why I'm struggling with this season is the structure, and I've been saying it every single episode. It's not only the structure of the episodes, it's the structure of the entire season that's making me not want to tune in weekly. But I am obsessed with these characters, unfortunately. And it's more so like I want to see what Sam Levinson does the next week. So at the beginning of this episode, Rue is going through withdrawal. She has to wait on going to rehab. She's really, really bad. She's struggling. Her mom's helping her out. Again, Z, class act, the physicality of it all, you can just see everything being affected, and Zendaya gives a phenomenal performance at the beginning of this. So she's going through that. Gia is definitely going to mature at the end of this season and be more mature going into season 3, because I do think that she is older now and she has to kind of look after Rue in a different way. I feel like Gia is going to be a major help moving forward. I would love to see a Gia episode. I need that to happen. So then we have Rue righting some wrongs, especially with Ollie. She didn't want to leave things like that with him. She did say things that, were out of character at the time that she was, going through what she was going through. And he says, of course, I forgive you. I've been there, and you know what? I'll come by and I'll make dinner like that. So he goes by, and he's like the voice of reason in the Bennett household, and I really love that for him. I love Rue and Ollie's connection. Coleman Domingo is a superstar, so I love seeing him on screen, and he decides to cook dinner for, the fam. But he sends Rue and her mom away because obviously she's been helping, clean her and bathe her and take care of her. So He's like, I don't want your stench around the food that I'm making. So the important thing that we get to note here in this episode is that Ali is kind of taking Gia under his wing and helping her out a bit more, giving her the attention that she needs also. What people fail to realize is that Storm Reid is doing a lot of character work through the silence, and I think that's really, really great for her. She has come into her own in this series, and I really love Gia. It's not like she cries all the time. That's not what it is. She's struggling as a character, as a little sister, go through all of this with Rue. You're going to see the different side of it, which there is a dinner table scene at the end of this episode, kind of like a Last Supper type of vibe, which I'm just going to wrap it all up in this, the Bennett dynamic, because that's all we really see of Rue after she narrates. But the important thing is that you have those tough conversations about addicts and how everyone around them is affected, but it also affects how the person who is suffering changes their perspective on things, and not to, BS them in any way. So of course, the mother's like, we have to support Rue. We have to be very supportive in this case. And then Gia turns it and she's very honest with the situation. And she's like, well, I have my doubts. You said that you were going to get clean the first time, and look where we are. So Ali kind of helps justify her thought process and really validates how she's feeling, because again, it's not, in this case, yes, Rue needs her help, but it's everyone around her that, it's kind of like a help me, help you type of situation. I really love that dynamic. I think Ali is such an important character. He's very integral in the Bennett household, very integral to Rue's growth as a character, and I just want to see more of that family dynamic. Going from one household to the next, we go to Nate's house. Like, okay, sure, we go to Nate's house, that's fine, I guess. And his mom is just having a grand old time now that her husband's away. Cal left. Marsha's living her best life, cooking, having a bottle of wine, and kind of letting loose in this case. And Nate's just questioning his mom. And they have this conversation about high school, right girls to choose. And Marsha goes and says that, I don't want you to be with Maddy. Are you still dating this girl, Cassie? She's a bit more right for you. Maddie's like vindictive, and if she gets pregnant, I'm pretty sure that she would just have the kid to spite you. And I just think that conversation with the mother is a bit out of place, but I understand why we needed to have that conversation. But I do think there has been way too much focus on Nathaniel and his family when it could have gone to other characters. So there's that conversation. And then we go to another pairing that I find really questionable, because we haven't seen them at all the entire season. And I'm talking about Kat and Ethan. Randomly, Kat goes to the restaurant and kind of breaks up with Ethan. And yeah, sure, we got like little tidbits here and there. Kat had a whole sexual awakening in season 1, and she went through her own journey of self-discovery and trying to figure out who she is, only to be thrown away because she's in a relationship. I don't understand the balance of the writing for these characters, because Kat is literally non-existent this season. And I feel really bad for Barbie, because she deserves better than that. She was one of the strongest characters in season 1. So for her to just be thrown away like this, it's really bothering me. Sam Levinson can't write for everybody. I think he's wearing too many hats. And I do think there needs to be women in the writer's room moving forward, because the stuff that he's coming up with for these women, I'm just like, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Then we go to the Howard household. And like I said before, Cassie's losing her mind. She's losing her mind, not because of her best friend. Okay, let's get one thing clear. It has nothing to do with Maddy. She's scared of losing Nate. And Nate did not call her. Shit hit the fan, and she's been waiting for his call, and that's what's making her spiral. She doesn't know what Nate's doing. I feel bad for her. I also feel bad for Maddy, because I think Sam Levinson's just using shock value to create the drama. There are some choices made. So from Cassie, we go to Lexi, because Lexi is the most logical person in the show. And Lexi is like, well, I don't trust you, to Cassie. And Cassie's like, well, no one trusts me. And then Lexi's like, well, yeah, look at what you did. So Cassie is just like getting it from all sides, basically. And Lexi needs to work on her play and, get some peace and quiet. So she goes to Fezco's house, and they're adorable. They're really chill together. They watch Stand By Me. It is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. He really likes her, and Lexi likes Fez too, for just having him listen to her, basically. So I love the two of them. The whole Stand By Me scene is great. But while that's happening, we see Faye and Ashtray and her former boyfriend, drug dealer, that kind of has some news for them in regards to Mouse. So this is not going to end well. I personally think that either Fez is going to jail or he's going to die in the finale. I think it's one of those two things. And Lexi is going to snap. I think that is what's going to happen. Then Nate wants to finish this once and for all with Maddy, and he creeps into her house as if her parents don't know that anyone's in there. Nate is just sitting there in the dark like freaking Batman, waiting for Maddy to come home. She changes into her pajamas and she ends up talking to Nate about, their relationship. I still love you, yada, yada, yada. All of that. Nate's not having it. He brings a gun that his dad left him with a little poster saying, "You're the man of the house now." So Nate takes it upon himself to scare the daylights out of Maddy in order to get that disc with his dad and Jules on it. Don't understand why this was done. I think that Maddy has been traumatized enough. I don't understand why Sam Levinson would do this to Alexa Demie. Even though Alexa gave a fantastic performance in that scene, I do think that it was a bit too much. I would have preferred the original scene, which Alexa kind of disclosed. She said that Maddy would have given Jules the disc in like a very loving way, like, I have this, I want to look out for you, this should be in your hands, and have that moment. Because again, we had that whole bowling night with Kat, Jules, and Maddy and Jules bonded, so that would have made complete sense for Maddy to get closer to Jules in order to give her the disc. Like, that is perfectly fine. Not this whole Russian roulette, I'm gonna shoot myself, I'm gonna shoot like Maddy. Like, it just didn't make any sense why you would use those scare tactics again when you had such a chill way of delivering the disc. I think the whole reason they changed it was because they wanted the Nate and Jules interaction to happen, where Nate apologizes, he's being way too nice to Jules, and Nate gives her the disc in the car, in the rain. They talk. It looks like they still have something between them. I don't even know, but you wasted a whole season of not having them together. Not that I want them together, but you have an entire season of that. This meeting is kind of useless if you don't push these characters forward together, and I would have still gone with Maddy giving it to Jules. So again, choices. It's also the fact that you do not have women writers in the room to have those conversations among women. That is the issue here. The whole disc between Maddy and Jules, that would have made such an impact. That would have been an incredible scene for both of them. And we were robbed of it because Sam Levinson chose violence. I still have some issues with the writing, as you guys can tell. I'm so sorry. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMXND Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.